Mute is a new film from Duncan Jones that has gone straight to Netflix. It stars Alexander Skarsgård, Paul Rudd and Justin Theroux as characters in a futuristic Berlin. Alexander Skarsgård's character is the mute of the film, being an Amish person whose parents didn't want him to have surgery after he had an accident to his throat, causing him to be mute. Paul Rudd and Justin Theroux are doctors, surgeons from the army that are currently living in Berlin, and Paul Rudd's got a young daughter. Justin Theroux's got some personal problems that come to the surface during the film, and these three people's lives cross over and intersect in various ways throughout the film that obviously end up with some crescendo involving them all. Now, the main driving plot behind the film is Alexander Skarsgård's desire to locate his girlfriend who goes missing. This brings him into contact with various people around the sort of neo-Berlin environment as he tries to unravel the mystery. The film clocks in at about just over 2 hours and it feels long. It's got very slow pacing. There's not a lot of action or excitement through the film, and unfortunately when you see the dull patches you really feel them. It's a real shame as well because the acting by all of the three main actors is really good. They're just let down by very sort of lackadaisical plotting, and it's not the obvious comparison is sort of Blade Runner because it's in a futuristic city and it's got that kind of dank urban environment, but you know, you have to sort of push that to one side and think, well, is it just a good or entertaining film? And it's got good points, it's just it needs to be 25 minutes shorter. The Paul Rudd story is good and has lots of twists and turns, whereas the Alexander Skarsgård story is very linear. I'd rather have seen more of the Paul Rudd character and his interactions with Justin Theroux and the sort of environment they're living in, sort of underground surgeons, than the mute character. Is it worth watching? Well, yeah, if you like futuristic sci-fi stuff and or mysteries, then yes, watch this. At 2 hours, whilst I say it's a long film and it feels long, it's certainly shorter than Altered Carbon, which is also on Netflix, which is another futuristic mystery thriller. But I think Altered Carbon is the better product. Whilst there's nothing wrong whatsoever with the production values of Mute, they're very good, everything's believable, and you know, not everything is crazy futuristic. When they have scenes in cafes in the day, they feel like modern cafes with just futuristic twists on them, which are good. You know, Altered Carbon is a better whole. You know, everything's up to a certain, everything's at like level 8 or above, whereas this has dips in certain aspects of it. Definitely worth watching though if you enjoy that kind of thing. As a little side point is this is meant to be the sort of spiritual sequel to Moon. They say spiritual, it is set in the same world as Moon because you see Sam Rockwell doing a little cameo on a TV screen with his character from Moon having come back to the Earth and the repercussions of that. You don't get a big view into that world, and I'd rather they'd have left that out. It sort of takes you out of the film and it ruins it a little bit. And it ruins Moon, which is a great modern sci-fi film. But yeah, Mute. Watch it, but make sure that you're prepared for a bit of a slog to get to the end, which does pick up speed. The last 25 minutes is really good and does, you know, make up for the sort of dull and slow plotting in the Mute elements of the film up to that point.